Probably one of the most common pieces of advice that I've gotten when I was doing banking recruiting is it's a numbers game. You have to reach out to as many contacts as possible so that just one of them could maybe have a connection with you and be willing to vouch for you for an internship or even a full-time offer. We all understand what that means. You have to reach out to a bunch of different contacts. What would be helpful is if there's an easier way to do it and go through much more contacts in a shorter amount of time, so that way you can maximize your chances of really succeeding at that numbers game. So that's what we've put together. We've put together a tool and a tracker that can help you generate emails. This is AI assisted email generation that is going to help you reach out to contacts at scale. Now, the real trick here is you can go through LinkedIn, compile a list of targets, and in this case, cold call candidates to go ahead and email. By doing so, you import that list to the portal that we've put together, and that now generates a list of candidates that you can AI generate emails for, which will make your contact and outreach much quicker. Let's get into it. Okay, so where this all starts with is LinkedIn. Now, I'm not going to go over how to most effectively use LinkedIn because I'm sure at this point a lot of you know how to quickly pull up profiles and go through from bank to pull up either analysts, associate, VPs, or MDs that are at that bank. What we're going to focus on right now is once you have a profile you're interested in, this should only take less than a minute to find the profile. We're going to pull the information that's required for our tracker to upload into the Athena portal. So you can see here, the first contact we have is Dave Walensky. So Dave used to be a banker at Jefferies. He now is here with us at Athena, but we're going to use his profile as an example here. We'll act like we're reaching out to him when he was an associate at Jefferies. Over here, all we're going to need is his name, David Walensky, and we're just going to go ahead and get the link for his LinkedIn profile and go ahead and paste that into an Excel sheet. So I've already pre-populated the 3 examples that I'm going to use here. We have David Walensky from Jefferies, and this is the LinkedIn URL. Montana Usafi, myself. So this is from Houlihan Lokey. Here's the LinkedIn URL. And we have another individual here, David Lunar from Bank of America, with their LinkedIn profile as well. Now, I'm just going to use these for the sake of the video, but you can obviously scale this to over 100 names if you really wanted to. And that's what I would recommend because it's the most efficient. So you just go through LinkedIn, pull as many profiles as you're interested in, and just put in their name, bank, and LinkedIn URL. So here, once we have these 3 individuals for the example, I'm going to just save this down as a CSV file. In order to upload it to the Athena portal, it needs to be a CSV file. Once this is saved, we're going to go ahead and flip over here to our outreach tracker. And this is all through the Athena portal. This is going to be what the home page looks like here for the tracker. So you could see here it's organized. I've already used this tracker for previous contacts in the past, which is why you see there's contacts that need action. The useful thing about this tracker is it keeps record of everyone that you reached out to. It reminds you who you need to follow up with. It reminds you who you've contacted, who you've spoke to, who is stale, and that's all categorized here down below. So what's going to happen is let's go ahead and upload these 3 that we talked about. So all you'd have to do is just go on import contacts. This is how you do all the bulk uploads, which is going to save you a ton of time. You click on the CSV file upload and click the download, click the Excel file we just saved, and boom. So what this does is it pulls up the contact, it auto populates their email depending on which bank that they're at. Now this feature is pretty useful. I know maybe some of you already have the emails memorized for each bank, but if you don't, this is an AI-assisted feature that's going to automatically populate the emails for you for the most common banks. You can see here, David's email is going to be dwalensky@jefferies.com. And you can see here there's a confidence status saying there's high confidence in each of these emails that are being generated. So we're going to go ahead and import these contacts, and you can see the import is completed. Now, all we do is we go make sure we click on identified. That takes us to the imported contacts. And here they are. Here are our 3 new contacts organized and ready for us to reach out. Now, here's where it gets interesting. What saves so much time is you can actually generate personalized emails through this portal that's going to go through the LinkedIn profile, scrape any interesting commonalities, and create an email for you that's generated fully. And that's how we're going to go ahead now and reach out to some of these candidates. Now, one more specification here is when you set up your Athena account, it's going to ask you about yourself. So you're going to have to put in what school you went to. So the college that you're going to right now, your major, any other things that you're interested in, any extracurricular programs you did. And once you set that up in your account settings, that's going to help with the AI generation email so that the AI can go through, pull some of the similarities that you might have with the contact you're reaching out to, and ultimately put together a well-crafted email that resonates. And you can do this very quickly because it's just generated upon your click. So let's go ahead and look at the first email here, David Lunar. This is the contact we uploaded. Let's just go ahead and generate the email. And this is going to be initial cold email, but you could see there's tons of variations here that's going to be that can be generated for you. It could be an alumni that you're reaching out to. It can be a referral from someone else. It can be your first follow-up after they haven't responded potentially, a thank you email. So let's do the initial cold outreach because we have not reached out to this contact. Now, once you generate the email, might take a second here. Okay, so now the email is generated. You can see here, this is what we have. Indiana University sophomore, investment banking career question. And obviously, as a reminder, that's because I set my profile on Athena to Indiana University. Now let's go ahead and look at the email. Hi, David. I came across your profile while researching professionals at Bank of America and was interested in connecting given your experience in investment banking. I'm a sophomore at Indiana University majoring in biology with a strong interest in pursuing a career in debt and advisory and restructuring. Now, the second line says, I recently completed an externship at Jefferies, which solidified my interest in finance. Now, again, that is what I put in the Athena portal. I said I completed an externship at Jefferies. So you could see here, the AI has went through, read my background, and pulled some of the relevant information here. So it talked about my externship. It talked about my major. I guess that's not really relevant here, but that's fine. It's fine to say you're doing biology and you're applying for an investment banking position. And it also said I have a strong interest in debt advisory and restructuring, which is exactly what we pulled from his LinkedIn profile. So you can see here, it's personalized towards who we're reaching out to here, David Lunar. So we copied it. Once we copy that email, we just go ahead and switch open to our Outlook, which just has an open email template here, paste that in. And then once we paste that in here, we just go ahead and make sure the spacing looks right. And that's really it. That's all you have to do. So now you go through, copy the subject line there. Once you copy the subject line, go here, paste it. And we already had the email. If you remember, it was already generated. So let's just click on done. We got the email, copy his email, paste that in, and you just send the email off. So that would take probably less than 30 seconds to do all that, input his email, copy the body and the subject line, and just fire off the email. Obviously, you want to check the email. Now, the benefit here is this is personalized outreach at scale. You could do the exact same thing here under Montana's profile here. So let's go ahead and also generate an email for Montana. This is also going to be a cold email, generate. And here you go. So you can see the subject line again is Indiana University investment banking interest. Hi, Montana. I found your contact while researching professionals at Houlihan Lokey and wanted to reach out. I'm a sophomore at Indiana University studying biology with a strong interest in debt advisory and restructuring. I recently completed an externship at Jefferies, which solidified my interest in investment banking, and I'm eager to learn more about your experience at Houlihan Lokey. So again, like we did before, just copy this email, go to a new Outlook sheet here, paste it up. Make sure the spacing is right here. That's really it. Just get the subject line back in there and then copy the email and just send that email off as well. So that's how the AI email generation works. Now you can see how I'd be able to do this at scale. All I would have to do is just go through LinkedIn, upload more contacts than those 3 that I pulled, and you can do this for 20, 30, 40, 50 contacts within a pretty short amount of time. And it's all personalized outreach based on your background that you've put into the Athena system and the LinkedIn URL you put, which gives information on the candidate that you're reaching out to. Now, lastly, once you've sent those emails off, you can see here, I'll click on mark as sent, and now it gets out of your identified tracker and it goes into your contacted. And now this also now just becomes a mini outreach tracker that will keep track of any follow-ups that you need to make. So if I don't get it here back from this individual after 3-4 days, this system will remind me that I need to follow up with them. So that's pretty much how it works. That's how you can scale your outreach while still keeping it personalized. Now, I'm not necessarily a proponent of just automating as much as you can here. I still do think one of the most effective qualities about the bankers going forward, about any junior banker going forward, is your ability to still resonate with people personally, not necessarily just focus on automating everything. But with that being said, you hear time and time again, it's a numbers game. So you do have to still be very efficient with your outreach while still being personalized. So this can all be done through the Athena portal. You'll find the link on the YouTube channel of how to access the YouTube portal. And any questions, just go ahead and let us know. Thank you.